Sorry.
Yay! I think we're on.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. Long time no see.
It's always like a little bit of a trial and error with the computers and whatnot. I'm trying to find something else so
We're
that we
getting
can.
better and better and better at it.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. It's just now I lost this little cue that I'm supposed to find. Anyway, hi, everyone. It's Positive Impact with Love Infinity, and I'm Nicole Everyday Davis from Mind Body Mastery. And today, I was just telling Love that, we had such a good time on Wednesday helping you all manifest money that we thought about it. And I think it would be a fantastic idea to make Fridays our Manifestation Friday. Sorry, it doesn't all rhyme and cuteness and all that, but I thought we
could figure it out. And if anybody has any suggestions, we're open to suggestions.
Yeah, I'd love suggestions, what you want to manifest. Also, the title of this particular show would be fantastic if you had any input. And because I was thinking about it, like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to manifest money. But unless you're like truly happy, then the money's only going to resolve a piece of your life. Don't you think, Love?
Yes. And my belief and my experience is that the happier that you are, the happier and the more joyful you feel in life, you manifest faster. Everything. Exactly. I have to be very careful these days what I talk about because I'm definitely manifesting really fast. And some of the things that I've been talking about, I didn't want to manifest.
Well, and this is the thing. Like,
it's okay. I'll receive all the gifts. I accept them graciously.
Exactly.
Just make sure my words are more impeccable.
Yes. Well, and this is the thing. This is why, honestly, I do teach Be a Body Psychic, because it helps to create the environment where you are. Oh my God, I did the exact wrong thing I was supposed to do. I'm looking at something else and it's so annoying. I apologize. I manifested something that I didn't want to manifest. Okay.
Well, I'll give you an example of what it was. My girlfriend and I, we were talking about, she has a sugar daddy and she was thinking like, I don't really love him, but he loves me and he worships me. We're talking about sugar daddies. Yeah. I had a meeting that afternoon and the guy offered to be my sugar daddy. I was like, what does that mean? Holy shit.
Wow. So this was someone different. This was someone different. This was someone different, not your friends.
No, it literally was right after her and I were talking about it. And then I manifested it and I didn't mean to do that.
Well, this is the thing. So you said, I want to manifest money. And I said, everyone wants to manifest money. Let's do it. So we worked on that. We focused on that, which was fantastic. But at the same time, like you do have to, a lot of people are like, oh, let it just happen. Let it just, explore the options. And although that's very admirable, unless you put a couple of caveats in there, unless you describe a little bit of how you want to manifest it, I think it's a little bit dangerous, don't you? Like you experienced?
Yeah. Yes. Don't ask how. And that was just something funny. Like I wasn't expecting someone to offer to be my sugar daddy right after I talked about it. Not that I wasn't putting it out there. God, my face.
But you're like, hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Let me rethink this. Exactly.
What was I looking for again? No, so we want to help you manifest your dreams, your desires, and I think it's all linked in. A lot of people, I'll just ask this: if you're listening, like, do you feel right now that your mind and body are in alignment with your goals, dreams, and desires? Do you feel like it's all working for you, or do you feel like, I'm missing something because I keep visualizing, but I don't see anything manifesting? Write down, give us an idea of what it is that you think you want to create, and if your mind and body are actually working for you in that direction. Because like I said, I train a lot of people over the years. It's got to be thousands by now. And it just blows my mind how many people will come to me and they'll say, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. But the reality is their verbiage, how they speak, like you said, they're not impeccable with their speech, and they can be very critical, self-critical, but then they're also doubtful. And I even did a visualization recently about manifestation, that I realized, like, all of this is available to me. What I want is right here. And I stood there and, like, cheering myself. I was like, I can't believe it. And I was like, wait a minute. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm not believing, so take those words back and allow them to be disintegrated, and then really engage yourself in, I can believe it. I am this. This is my reality. And it's just the miracle that I knew was going to end up happening. But I just figured that out, for myself. And I'm pretty good at manifesting. I've manifested a lot of things in my lifetime. My sister's always said, you dive into one thing, you master it, and then you're like, okay, I'm done. I want to create something else. And I do. I go create. I create, and I create, and I create. And I think every step gets me a little bit closer to my soul's desire, which I just kind of like woke up to and admitted last year. So yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah, and tapping in with yourself, checking in with your own heart and saying, is this from my heart? Is this truly what I desire? Check in. It really makes a huge difference. Am I speaking from my heart? Am I feeling from my heart? Am I feeling my way through this world, this life?
Yep. I agree. When I did write Be a Body Psychic, the workshop, I created another meditation called the Aligning Flow. And a lot of people were like, why do I want to be in alignment? Excuse me, with my flow. It's something, dust or something I caught in my throat.
That happens when I drink my smoothies and the powder, the protein.
Yeah. So the reason why I did that, though, is because if your mind and body are in alignment with your divine template, I call it your divine template, that place in you that knows exactly what you need to be happy, to be healthy, to live well, to be in love, to have a fantastic career, and plenty more than you need money-wise, then you have to know that you are in total alignment energetically, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And if you're not, then we have to take a couple of steps back. But in the visualization, I kind of have you take a look at it from a different perspective. And then if there is something blocking you, then we allow a lot of light and love and consideration to come in and help you transform that blockage. So, but it's a process that I think a lot of people stumble over because they're not great meditators, so that turns them off. Some people don't visualize well, that turns them off. So it just depends on the personality and what they, how they perceive themselves, because there's nothing like, you can't have denial in this process, right? Like if you are, subconsciously sabotaging yourself, or you're very hypercritical, or you're sarcastic, then you're not likely to get where you want to go, right? Because we're in denial of our truth.
I know. And I have a friend he's from Germany. He's not really here very often. He's just crashing in between jobs from Alabama or whatever. And he's really sarcastic. Really, really sarcastic. I'm like, you got to be really careful with that. And I know people think it's fun and games, and it's a creation. We don't really know. And it's fun. And if you put that intention into it and say, I'm just being sarcastic.
Right.
Then it's different. And all that, what you said just now, Nicole and I we are going to devote Fridays to helping everybody manifest what their true heart desires with all of those things that you talked about, the career, your relationships, wealth, abundance.
And we want to hear from you. You know, we want your feedback because we don't want to waste your time. You know, we recognize that we're on here for almost an hour on Wednesday and Friday. And we just want to make sure that we're giving you something that's valuable to you. So keep commenting and making requests. One of the things that I noticed, like I said, after we did the meditation on Wednesday, you know, the manifesting money meditation, I actually got 3 calls for brand new clients. And one of them is a friend of yours, but there were 2 other people that I had. One I had was an old client that I hadn't heard from in a long time. And another one I had just seen at a party over the weekend. They were all like, you know, can you come today? I'm like, not today. You know, like I can come.
Why not?
Maybe.
Now. We need to now.
Yeah, no, but
I need you too. Like,
it was only because I was already booked. So I saw one of them yesterday. I'm going to see one on Tuesday. And then another woman is joining. She's already experienced my workouts, so she just wants to get back on my schedule. So I know her, and I'm going to do another evaluation with her, but she'll come back on my schedule next week also. But and then I gave like 2 other readings for new people. What?
I can't wait. I look forward to you working with me or on me, especially with these extra energies floating around me.
Yeah. Well, and I think, you know, so 2 things I just wanted to say, and I'm going to come back to you in just 1 minute. When people are very sarcastic, though, it tells me something about their upbringing. And I know this sounds weird, but it tells me that something in them, or they were taught how to feel uncomfortable with their own emotions. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Or they felt uncomfortable with a trauma they experienced or some sort of abuse that they experienced growing up. So they divert the energy from awkward to funny. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense. And a lot of people use humor. I mean, look at most of humanity. When someone gets hurt, or when someone, like these prank videos, most of the time people are getting hurt or scared. When people are hurt or scared, why is it so funny?
Right.
It's one of those things that we do.
It's because
it's really funny. I mean, my boys make YouTube videos all the time. This craziest shit. It's so bad. It's like her scaring each other, weird stuff, and it's funny. And
if you go back in history, if you go way back in history, I mean, you know, literally throwing the Christians to the lions was like a big, you know, event to watch. And I think it's the drama. I think it's, you know, seeing someone else be vulnerable, and maybe like the pain isn't so funny, but being vulnerable and kind of catching you off guard is, you know, an emotion that we are all kind of aware that is enjoyable. You know, you don't want to admit that, but
it's like one of those things that we do, like a fear mechanism. Like instead of freaking out, being scared or crying, you just laugh, you know?
Yeah.
And to lighten the situation. I mean, my best friend and I, first day of freshman in high school, it was raining and slippery. I think we both slid and fell together right the first day of school. Prayed that nobody could or saw us. I don't know. But all you have to do is like stand up and laugh.
Right.
So,
no, I think, but you know, historically, I think certain emotions make, if you're watching someone be uncomfortable, that's one thing. You can laugh at that, right? But if you're uncomfortable, you want to turn it into something else, you know, whether like it's the sarcasm or the humor or whatever. You're trying to divert that energy off of you and make you feel more comfortable than embracing it and engaging in it. And so anyway, that works in the energetic field. I want to say that works exactly the opposite way you would expect it when you want to manifest something. So like all that energy that you're putting out there, that's sarcastic and somewhat negative, and you're getting a laugh in that moment because your brain is thriving on that you know, you're actually getting a high off of someone else's laughter, which is wonderful. And I'm all for it, except to say that if the sarcasm is working against your goal, So if you're making jokes about being poor all the time, you're not likely to get wealthy anytime soon, if that makes sense.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off before.
No, you didn't. Getting better at that. I enjoy all your meditations.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I would like to suggest and hear from our listeners that every Wednesday and Friday we do a meditation. Like
Sure.
today, Friday's meditation will be on helping people, everyone manifest what their true heart desires, in all areas of your lives.
Yeah.
And a reading with Nicole is amazing. I'm gonna get better with that too.
Yes. Yeah. And we're all getting better with that. It's funny, if you hang out with me long enough, people are like, oh, I saw you, under a waterfall, and you were trekking through the woods, and like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a hiking trip in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Just little things like that would happen, or they can, predict something that their son's going to go through or their daughter's going through and things like that. It's nice because that's another thing I wanted to talk about, was like the gifts that God has given us. I think the more we use those gifts, the more we are receptive to abundance, wealth, prosperity, a more stable lifestyle, or maybe more fun in our lives, or maybe more adventure in our lives. And relaxed. Yep.
More flowers, more laughing, more pampering, more romance, more candles.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's it too. Like, are we spending enough time on manifesting our goals, dreams, and desires? This woman I gave a reading to yesterday, I said, I don't see a whole lot of action in the thymus chakra. That's where we manifest and fulfill ourselves as spiritual beings on the earth in human form. And I said, I don't see a whole lot of energy rolling through there. In fact, it's kind of covered up. And she said, well, I've always, I said, what have you always wanted to do since you were a kid? And she's like, well, I've always wanted to be a writer, but, I can't just leave my full-time job and write. And I'm like, no, it's not an all or nothing world. This is the world that we get to create what we want, right? So if we find enough value in that writing for ourselves, and not for nothing, ladies, by the way, when you are actually doing something that you love and you feel fulfilled by, you actually boost your own immune system. So just keep that in mind when the next time you want to say, I don't have time for this. You always have the ability to make an appointment with yourself, and you can chunk it out in small pieces. So you can make an appointment for 5 minutes every morning. I'm going to write down some writing prompts or whatever it is you want to do. If you like to draw or paint, just sketch something quick, 5 minutes first thing in the morning. And then as you see yourself engaged more and more in that vision, you can start to find gaps. You will find gaps in your schedule that you can book with yourself so that you can work on attaining those goals and manifesting your dreams. But it starts the minute you say, you know what, now would be a good time.
Yeah. When is now a good time? Right now. Yes.
Yeah, right now.
Amen.
Right now.
That's all it takes is 5 baby steps, and that 5 minute turns into 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes every day.
That's right.
We've talked about that in the past about even working out. You do that one push-up every morning. Ends up being 2 push-ups, 2 sit-ups, 1 sit-up, whatever it is, just get started.
Yeah, like I said, when I am having a difficult time working out.
Tom
who is this?
Gave kiss faces. Yay! Aww. He agrees with it. 1 baby step at a time.
Yay! When we when I wake up in the morning and I know I have to get a good workout in, but there's like no way, I didn't sleep well, whatever. The first thing I do, literally, I just get dressed, and then I'll take I'm like, oh, okay, that's one accomplishment. I'm dressed. And then I'll take a half a cup of coffee. That's 2. I've done 2 positive things towards my goal in that 15-minute span. Then the third thing I do is I either go walk outside or I walk on my treadmill in the house. But outside is even better. If it's raining, I don't care. If it's snowing, my rule is I will go outside if it's anything above 24 degrees. If it hits lower than 24 degrees, it's almost not worth it because you can't feel your feet after a while, you know. But if
You
I
go
can
barefoot?
No. I mean, it's just, cold. It's just so cold. Like my extremities start to get really cold. My fingers, you don't feel your nose,
Say
like.
no more. You're in New York. I live in Florida where it's in the hundreds right now. And I'm so blessed that I live 2 blocks from the beach. And
So even when you wake
there.
up, even when you wake up in the morning, you can go for a beautiful walk on the beach, and you're not, it's not that much of in other words, like it's not that much of a reach for you, like even people who live in apartment buildings. I used to live in Manhattan when I went to FIT, and I used to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning to complete projects. And then I'd walk downstairs, and if I didn't see a bus right away at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd continue walking. And I had a portfolio that was 36 by 24 inches, heavy portfolio. But I just kept moving, just to wake myself up. And that taught me a lot. That really gave me a lot of perspective in terms of what I can accomplish. You know what I mean? Physically, emotionally, mentally, as an artist, as a psychic, as, a personal trainer. There's so much that I can't wait to create. So what are your goals to manifest this year?
Well, anybody listening, you want to list yours, but mine personally. So to reach 1 billion or more people through positive impact.
I love that.
To share with them, that they're powerful beings, and to speak from your true heart, to remember who you are. So that's one of my
1 billion
or more.
And if anyone has any advice about how we can get there, let us know.
$1 billion or more would be nice too.
Yes.
Romance. Be in union with my true love. What else? So every area of my life, my career, my health, back to my 25-year-old body, mind and spirit.
Do you want to share how old you are now, though?
No.
Come on, I'll say if you say.
No, I'm good. It's because that's just a number.
It is just a number. It is just a number.
How I feel is a different thing. And oh my gosh, this woman, we're playing phone tag all day. Oh, let me just.
Someone's calling you now.
Hey, Whitney. Whitney's going to be on with me this afternoon. I'm on a podcast right now. Can I call you in between?
Anyway, Love Infinity is a little busy. I have certain goals, specific goals that I set for myself. And I will say, let me just go back a few years. When I was still working as a personal trainer at Lifetime Athletic in Westchester, my goal was to get out and to start my own business as a personal trainer and make more than I did when I was with Lifetime. And I did. I left Lifetime in 2016. I started as a traveling trainer and then developed my business, and I started renting an office. Then from the office, I went and I rented a studio, and I went from making, I think it was like $35,000 a year at Lifetime Athletic to almost $50,000 a year 3 years later, which isn't bad. It's not the big jump I was hoping for. But the fact that I accomplished that made me feel like, okay, if I can do that, like I said, small chunks, I could do a lot better than that now, So that's, the trajectory. Oh, and I have to say, and probably Love Infinity, you feel the same way, that really, honestly, I took a big hiatus from work until I felt my children were old enough and independent enough to take care of themselves. And that's the point that, like it was, I want to say, when my youngest hit like 3rd or 4th grade, like he could ask for things he wanted. He could make his own peanut butter and jelly if he wanted, he wasn't alone at home. His brothers were home before him, so there was a sense of independence there that I felt like I could then go explore a full-time position at a really nice health club. So I'll just put that out there. If you're a mom, no worries. you're doing the best job ever, and it's going to pay you back. The hardest job, but the best job. Honestly, like, think about all the jobs you could have, even if you're like a caregiver, right? For nurses or EMS or whatever, you know, you're always giving, but you don't always see the payback at the end of it. You know, like, you're handing them off to someone else at the end of the day. But what's nice about raising another human being is that you actually are the benefactor of the payoff. You know, you get to see the results of your. I'm just so proud of my boys right now. One is a communications major, and he's creating a walking meditation for troubled boys. You know, young men who are depressed or having a hard time. You know, and he's done this. He's created it, and he's starting to put it into a context where people can access it. I think young men have a hard time reaching out when they're in trouble, right? Don't you think? Love Infinity has 2 boys. I have 3.
I'm so proud of them. Yeah, they bury it. They're afraid to cry and things too, which for me, I personally didn't shame them for that.
Not at all.
Other influences that don't raise them the same or talk with them the same. Yeah, I feel, yes, especially for young men, it's not as easy. I mean, it's yes.
I think also that, like, they respond better to someone their age, you know. So I'm proud of that, you know, development. My oldest son is an international business major, and he's on the dean's list. He's on the president's list. I mean, there's a lot of, like, joy about raising kids, in other words. So if that's the thing that you're manifesting right now, please just don't have any guilt about that process. It's a beautiful process, and you're going to thank yourself.
You can do it all. You can. I'm living proof. I'm miraculously, the things that I've done, being a single mom, dad, businesswoman, all of it.
That's a whole different.
2 amazing boys that are great men now. They are both amazing people, and
there's a special place in God's mind, I think, for single parents. You know, like, they really need that support. They really need that guidance, and I think you did a beautiful job. I've talked to Charlie. He's a sweetheart.
Aw. Have you talked to him recently? He's doing a lot better.
Good. Oh, good. Because we'll talk about that another time. We were trying to.
Uh-oh, we lost Nicole. Just when we were getting into the manifestation. Nicole, are you there? Uh-oh, it's paused for a moment. I'm not sure if we're all live or not. Let's see. Nicole, where'd she go? She is on her way back. Oh. Nicole. There she is. Is she back? Oh, sorry, everyone. We're having technical problems here. There she is.
Oh, hey, it's back. Sorry about that.
There you are.
Sorry.
No apology. Oh, here's just something new I learned recently. Don't be sorry, be yourself. I love that. Don't be sorry.
I love that too.
Be yourself.
That's beautiful.
So true. Unless you really hurt someone, punch somebody, or hurt it, or run over them, or run over their toe, then be sorry.
Right.
It's just another one of those words that we use that it's overused and maybe not even used properly all the time.
And I think also when you allow yourself a little leeway in being you, there's less pressure, you know, to perform, to accomplish a task or be the person that you're not yet, but you're aiming towards, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely feel like, you know, that's a beautiful thing to say to yourself. I am being me.
So, what's the first step that we want to help people with manifesting? Being
Well,
great.
first, like we talked about, I think it's important to have a goal, you know, making sure like you understand what that goal is. And if it's just like, oh, I want money, then you're going to have to figure out like why you want the money. Because if it's just to make your life easier, again, it's probably not going to happen. Like if you combine your goal with the wealth and well-being of others, that's so much why I wanted to do this, not just because I wanted to manifest my own goal, but I really feel like if we join forces, then we can definitely impact each other's energy and help each other manifest faster. That was the other purpose of this. I'm going to go on and after this, and I'm going to do a little bit of a commercial about it so that we can get more people on board. But I think the first step is have a goal and know why you want it and how it can help you as well as the people that you impact on a regular basis. Does that make sense?
Checking in with yourself and knowing what you desire in life, what you really, really desire. I mean, a lot of people, they forget to check in with themselves and they get busy and do other people's things and you lose track. I mean, years ago when we started Positive Impact, if you just randomly ask someone on the street, what do you desire in life? What do you want? People are stumped. They don't really think about what they truly desire in their lives.
That's a really good point.
So thinking about what you desire and really going there. Most people know what they don't want, but do they know what they really desire? Want?
Yeah.
I like the word desire better than want. Want sounds like want.
Like you're a whiner.
And you're always wanting.
Well, so also when you, and I keep using money as an example, but when you say you want money, a lot of people, they want enough money, but what they really want is like freedom. Don't you find that too? People use one term in exchange for something that it means even more to them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you said.
Money is freedom. Money is choices. Money you can do a lot of great things with.
Yeah. And I think it's important though to say, you know, if I have this amount of freedom, if I can spend, you know, 3/4 of my year in Florida and not have to work, but 1/4 of the year I'm working, you know, full time and I'm all out, but I'm making enough money to make me happy, then, you know, that would be the way of strategizing that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
making it even more accessible instead of like trying to just go for a big number.
The way you word it. The way you word it is very important. And knowing why you want something, that helps with the wording of what you desire and then letting go of it. Just poof, then be in the moment.
And that's the other piece I was going to bring up is that, you know, in behaviors, I'm a behavior specialist with NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine. And when I did the behavior specialist, I wanted to improve people's ability to see and conceptualize their goal before they actually engaged in attaining it, because half of the work is done in your head, right? But what I did discover was that people are 70% more likely to attain their goals if they are a specific goal. So to just say like, oh, I want more money, that's not going to get you more money. It's just going to, well, you'll find like, you know, 5 quarters in the cup holder in your car. You know what I mean? But if you say, I want to increase my income by $50,000 a year, every year for the next 6 years, then that gives the universe something to work on, you know? And like Joe Dispenza says, or I forget who it was, I watched so many of these motivational things, right? when you actually put words to your goal and you meditate on those words, you're actually sending like this antenna up into the universe saying like, this is what I want and this is how I see it. But if it doesn't happen exactly that way, just as long as I get what I want, I'd be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So I think like, what do you want? Figure out what you want. Be specific about it, right?
Why helps.
Yes, and know your why, and then devote a certain amount of time to it. That would be the next step. And even if it's just 5 minutes a day, just know that you're going to spend that 5 minutes focused on that goal and nothing else. And then, what I find interesting, like I've been doing manifestation meditations for about, I want to say 5 months, maybe 6 months. And your goal may be different than mine. So when you ask for evidence from the universe, it may come a lot faster than my goal, because my goal has a lot of moving parts in it. It involves other people's will. It involves, other people's career. It involves other mechanics, I want to say, to it. So, be open to whatever evidence that you do get. Like for me, the biggest piece of evidence towards my goal was actually talking with you, Love Infinity, and having you say, hey, you want to do a podcast? I was like, yes, that's in alignment with my goal, But there were things that came up that were opportunities that I ended up saying no to because it wasn't in alignment with my goal or my divine will. So, getting to know that practice of discernment, know exactly what you want, give the universe the opportunity to answer you with evidence. I think that's going to become more of a habit for people who are really interested in manifesting their goals.
Yes, that's so true.
So what's your ritual though, Love, when you do want to manifest a goal? What do you do?
I do my gratitude journal. If I don't do it at night, I prefer to do it at night before I go to bed. And I'm grateful for things as if they already have happened, whether they have or not. And going to sleep, doing it right before bed, then there's no interference with anything else throughout your day. If I don't do it at night, lately I've been in the habit of doing it in the morning right after I meditate. Saying affirmations in my eyes in the mirror, at least I have them posted next to my mirror. So even if I feel like I don't have time to do all of them in the morning or whenever, throughout the day when I'm putting makeup on or doing my hair or just washing my hands, I'll say one or two of them in the mirror in my eyes at least 3 times.
Beautiful.
That really helps. Checking in with myself every week or so, even, or at least once a month. I totally full-heartedly believe in your bucket list too. I was working with these coaches last year, and that's one of the things they require you to do before they work with you is doing your 5 core values, which is, for me, it took me like a week or 2 to do.
To figure it out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of values that are very important to me. And to chunk it down into the 5 most important was not easy. So I chunked it down like friends and family are 1. God and love are 1.
Yeah.
For me, chunking 1 where being authentic is up there, along with trust, honesty, and all of those words that are similar and not the same. They're all different. Right. Contribution is huge for me. Giving and then I have fun. Like right when I got divorced, fun was number 1. My number 1 value for a very long time, because I was like, there's no reason that there is any reason to not have fun every day
Yeah.
of your life if you can help it. So fun with, so your values change too, you
Yes.
know, from
Yep.
year to year or week to week or month to month, maybe.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
checking in and then doing my bucket list, you have to get in a mindset. I visited all these websites for bucket lists, and I desire to have a section on positive impact about that. You don't really think about it. And then
Yeah.
once I got into it, I thought about all these things and places that I want to do, and books and movies that I want to see, things that I desire to experience. And then I was manifesting them like crazy by
That's
knowing what
awesome.
they are. Yeah, like
Yes.
I did a trip to Machu Picchu and Egypt and Colombia and Australia, all these trips. They were on my bucket list. I just wasn't expecting to do them all last year or before I did it. I did
I think that's
all of those
awesome, though.
plus. So right now I'm really working on Hawaii and
Yeah.
Thailand. Thailand is so huge on my list.
I'd love to go back to Hawaii. That was a really wonderful trip. And I went like right after a hurricane. So like everything was kind of like squashed, you know.
We're going. We're going together, Nicole.
Yay!
Let's go to
Yay!
Thailand as soon as possible, or Hawaii, or both.
I'd
Both.
love to. I'd love
I'm
to.
meeting so many people from both places too, so it's like
That's
always a
awesome.
sign for me.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I've given readings to a few people from Hawaii, and literally their energy is shaped differently. It's beautiful. It's this beautiful, like interwoven. And I'll say, you know, I'll be on the phone giving them a reading, and I'll say, "Are you by any chance Polynesian?" Well, yes, I came from Hawaii. You know, like, oh my God, it's this same energy. It's amazing. And they
That's
have,
so
you know,
great.
their gods, their indigenous gods are actually a part of their energy, you know, and I was like blown away because, you know, you see someone from the United States and you could definitely tell like, oh, okay, they're from the United States or whatever. And England has a certain energy level, but the Polynesians were very, very different and gracious. And the emphasis was on beauty, you know, like inner, but also external beauty, all things beautiful in nature, you know, like that kind of thing. I can't describe it. I have to draw it out for you guys at one point, um, but anyway, I also wanted to point out that there are certain things like I have this little jar. I don't know if you could see the jar.
I love it. It's beautiful. It looks
Some
Hawaiian.
I know. Actually, it's Japanese, and someone gave it to me a long time ago. But basically, you know, this comes out of here like that,
Oh,
and
cool.
then you take like this is just a sample piece of paper for good health, I think, and well-being. Um, but you can take a piece of paper, write down your goal on it. Ah! Oh, it's still in. It is mine.
What does it say?
It says to make my show the most successful mind-body show on earth.
Yay! It's happening.
Yay!
Yay!
So you would write down what you want to manifest, and you put it inside of this little container, and then you drop it inside this bowl of wishes and dreams, and you kind of let, you know, your energy, the universe, God, all of the Japanese gods and goddesses work on it, you know, and kind of help it manifest and bring it along in different opportunities to you. And
That is beautiful. And that is an idea for everyone listening too, to create their own, get a little jar or a little crystal
yep.
thing or a box and design it yourself and put it in a place, like having a little altar.
And when you create, when you create it, it has so much more power to it because, I mean, this was a beautiful little sentiment and everything. And I love it. And I'm sure if I did like give it energy, you know, Reiki or otherwise, I think it would kind of bring things along faster. But can you imagine if you, like, I love the idea. I have so many friends that throw clay. If they made their own clay container with their own little basket and oh, how beautiful is that, you know? So there's all different kinds of ways that you can help yourself kind of hone in on your goal. You know, I think that's the biggest issue is distraction. Don't you think so, Love Infinity?
Yeah, yes, and calling it your little wish pot, or not even your wish pot, your 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 truth pot. Like some people have hope chests before they're married. It's kind of like that, except you're putting everything in there. And put a little crystals and altars.
I just love the idea. So I thought I would show everyone.
I love it. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But so it seems like a pretty quiet group today. I guess we should sign off. Yeah, and no one has asked any questions, psychic or otherwise. So I guess we're going to say goodbye.
We'll see you on Wednesday, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, and we're going to go for 2:00, right?
I would love to do it earlier if you're able next week. Next Wednesday.
I think I could probably do, I might be able to do 1:00. I might be able to do 1.
If you're not able, I'll just stick with it. I have a hair appointment. My lady can only get me on at 2. She's like an hour away.
Wow. Your hair looks great though. Really? You think you need a hair?
It's my roots.
I don't see any roots. You want to see, well, I just did have this colored recently, but I don't see any roots on you.
Well, anyway.
You look gorgeous.
Everyone, thank you for listening. We love you.
Thanks for listening. And tell us again if you have something that you would like to manifest that you need help with, and we'd be happy to help meditate and pray with you about that. In the meantime, I am also giving another workshop, Be a Body Psychic workshop, next Friday. I'm going to be posting information about that workshop. I apologize. I had a very busy week, but I will be formulating that information and posting it here, as well as on my YouTube channel and my website and Facebook pages. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. And you can find Love Infinity on Positive Impact Global, Positive Impact Empire on Facebook, or just Google it. I am mindbodymastery.org, or you can also find me at Nicole's MBM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a blessed day.
Bye.